evening. My name is Edith Grimm. My story begins when I was just 11 years old. I came from a very large family. I had 6 older brothers and 2 older sisters. We grew up in Sauk Valley, which is just out of town on the other side of the river. And my dad worked really hard for the electric company back then, and they had to pull long cables across the river, which required all the men to stand in the freezing cold Skagit River for long periods of time. Though this didn't go on for very long, it left a lot of them crippled with nerve damage. So eventually my father ended up bedridden. Well, my oldest brother, Jay, he had gone off to a logging camp, and he came home with a friend. His name was Toiso, and he was from Finland. He was 24. And he bragged and talked a lot about all his medical experience and all the other help he could do around the farm, and he wanted to help with Daddy's ailments. And, well, he also took a liking to me. And I was a little shy, but I liked the attention. He told me I would be his one day. Well, my other brothers, Ernie and Howard and Sonny, they didn't like that at all. But I didn't mind. Well, we used to, Finn, they named him Finn because he was from Finland, so we called him Finn. But he would take me and my youngest brother across the river on the Faber Ferry, and we'd come over and see a matinee at the theater. And it was a nice way for us to get away from my older brothers. But one time, it was too late for us to go back. And so we stayed at the hotel here on the street. And it was that night that he showed me what it was to become a woman. So by the next fall, we had a blooming love affair, and he was mine and I was his. Well, my older brother, Ernie, he didn't like that at all, and so he went up and he told Finn. He faced him and said he didn't like what was going on, and well, Finn, he shot him. And eventually he told my mom and dad that Ernie went looking for work in California because he couldn't find any here. But I knew what really happened. It wasn't long before my other brother, Sonny, found the same fate by Finn's hands. One day, the preacher came with the law. The law was looking for some stolen goods and my older brothers. Well, I couldn't lie to the preacher. So I told him about my love affair with Finn, but I couldn't tell him about my brothers. Well, the law arrested Finn and found out his real name was Clifford Hawkins. Not only his real name, but a whole list of crimes that went with it. So he was arrested for, of course, having relations with me since I was under 15. And he got a life in prison at Walla Walla State Penitentiary, death row. Also 2 counts of murder. And I was sent away. Everyone here thought I was just some whore. They didn't look at me as an abused child. So I was sent down to a school down in Seattle for wayward girls, and eventually I went into Roosevelt High School. I made it through my sophomore year before I dropped out. I ended up becoming a seamstress like my mom. I actually worked at Boeing. I sewed the seats for the 747s and lived in Everett. But I was very lonely. I never ever did talk to my family again, especially about what happened. But at age 93, I passed. But I was always lost and tortured by my past. And so I'm here, back home, trying to find my family. The ones that I lost and the ones that I loved. That's my story.